Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
So you're in South Dakota right now, and we wanted to tell you about our summers.
So we figured that we'd start making you videos about what's going on here, and we'll start with summer,
Yeah,
because you missed that.
and then we'll just update you weekly or hourly
Or really, we'll just make videos and
Yeah.
we'll text you in the middle of them and just let you know what's happening.
yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay. Why'd you leave us, Jill?
Okay.
Stop!
She's been like this all day.
Hi,
Just
Jill.
starts yelling.
So okay, we recorded everything, or we thought we did. So we're telling you this again, basically, even though you weren't here. I got on the airplane after I said goodbye to you guys and crying hysterically while waiting for security. That was fun. We were eating Rolos while waiting for security too. So I had the chocolate and the crying, and it looked like I was on my period, and it was perfect. So no one bothered me about anything. They didn't take away my Rolos, so I was super happy on the airplane because I was eating caramel and chocolate, and it was great. Yeah. So Manon's like, okay, when we reach altitude, no more English. And I was like, okay, but then I realized that actually meant no more English. So after we reached altitude, just French. So she was talking to me in French, and I was like, I have no idea what you're saying. Also, it was raining at the airport, right? And the flight was delayed by 2 hours, so we were in the airplane for 10 hours, but somehow made it to Geneva early. I don't really understand how that one works. But we got to Geneva and we got our luggage and everything, and we get out of the thing, and I'm like expecting hi, welcome to France sign or something, technically welcome to Switzerland sign, and there's no one there. Like, we can't find her mom or her boyfriend or anything, and we realized they're late. So we were just sitting there by the door waiting for her mom and boyfriend to show up to pick us up. So that was fun. It was for a half hour, and it was raining when we got there, so what her mom had planned for that day was going to visit Lake Geneva, but since it was raining, it wasn't that nice. So we got there, and then we drove through a bunch of tunnels to get to France, and while driving through the tunnels, like the last tunnel, and it opens up, and you see all of the mountains around you. Like, I'm in the center of the Alps. There's just mountains everywhere, and there's vineyards everywhere. So I'm looking around, and like these vineyards are like flat, and then they reach up onto the mountains too. And like some of the vineyards were like up 90 degree angles. Like, I don't understand how they collect the grapes at the end, but they were climbing the mountain as high as they could, these vineyards. Her mom drove us around like on a scenic tour, kind of like that, around like where they live, so I saw the lake and stuff like that, and then she dropped us off at the lake. Manon had this thing planned for her return, where all of her friends showed up at once. And you know how bad I am with names and how it took me forever to learn everyone's name in stage crew, and I still don't know their names. So all of her friends show up at once, and there's 3 girls and 25 guys, and let me tell you, these guys. So that was cool, and we had like a barbecue there too, so they had like a fire, and like they had meat and stuff like that, and they made barbecue and bacon, and it was really good, because the guys actually make stuff there, like they actually make dinners, and yeah, that was different and nice, because here it's like, oh my god, there's a guy in the kitchen, but yeah. Anyway, so I met all of her friends, and on the first day I was like, I'm in love with all of your guy friends, like take pictures so I could remember their names. So I did, so she did, and then, yeah. So the next day we went to Chamonix and like Nyon, and like visit her town, and the town is kind of like Seville, but like 15 minutes away, but nothing like Seville. Because in France, every town has a town center, or basically in Europe, every town has a town center. So, like, you could just go there and hang out and, like, whatever. Just like, you know how we go to Seville? But we don't really hang out in Seville. We either go to the movies or get pizza. But it's kind of similar to that. But, like, in France, you just go to the town center and you just sit around and just talk. And that's that. And you don't really have to walk around and do anything. And that's what kind of, like, makes me love Europe so much, because of the town centers, even though that's such a little thing, but we don't have it here because, what? In Ronkonkoma, you've got Lake Ronkonkoma, which no one goes to. Then there's Bohemia and Oakdale, which, I mean, I guess you gotta connect on State Park, but that's not really a town center, it's mostly just houses. Anyway, so we visited Chamonix, which is the town that's like 15 minutes away, and we walked around and we went to like, we went shopping or whatever, and there's like an H&M and, you know, whatever, like that. And I had a crepe that was the size of my face, and I could not eat it. It was full of like ham and egg and like a bunch of different stuff, but it was like this big, and I couldn't eat it all. And I was like, oh, but I wanted the sweet crepe too, but it was impossible to eat it. Then we bought cheese, but the cheese was at like this ice cream truck vendor kind of thing. So like every day this truck with cheese was in different places. After that we went to Cap d'Agde, which is on the Mediterranean Sea, and we had like mobile homes. So it was me and Manon sharing a bed, which was really nice because like when we were in separate rooms we didn't really like talk about the day or whatever after. But in Cap d'Agde we would just lay down and be like, yeah, I really liked today. Today was fun, blah blah blah, and talk about, you know, gossip, whatever was going on that day. It was really small. Like, you'd think a mobile home is a little bit bigger, but it was actually really small. But it was kind of comfortable and like intimate. Is that the right word for that? I don't know. Anyway, so it was like a 10-minute walk from the beach and a 10-minute walk from the pool, so everything was really close. We met some pretty boys, and I looked at some pretty boys. Pretty boys. Her best friend hitchhiked down to us one day, and they showed up at Cap d'Agde, and they spent the day with us, and then they spent the night with us, and then the next day at 9 a.m. they hitchhiked back up to Nyon because they had work. So it was an 8-hour drive to get to Cap d'Agde when we were driving in a car. Imagine hitchhiking. That's kind of weird. I mean, they're all 17 though. You'd never expect them to all be 17 because they're so mature. Anyways, so that was fun. The pool had a spa and everything that you could sit around and like lounge in and stuff like that. Oh, the pools don't have like slippery bottoms. They have like sandpaper bottoms. So I have like scars on my feet from the sandpaper bottoms of the pools because there was a slide and my feet tucked under me, and for the entire week that we were on the Mediterranean Sea, I couldn't wear shoes. That was fun. So my feet got really tough. Then one night we went to see Toro Piscine. Toro meaning bull and piscine meaning pool. So it was like a bullfight with a pool in the middle, but it was like a kiddie pool, not like one of those big pools that like you have to hop into. And it was crazy because the announcers were like, if you're 18 and wearing sneakers, you could get in the arena. So what? A bunch of brave guys get into the arena. And then the announcer's like, okay, we'll have a shirts and skins team. Shirts and skins. Skins team. The skins team was on our side of the arena. But they started playing soccer and they released a bull into the arena while they're playing soccer. So the point of the game was to actually play soccer while avoiding the bull. So that was really cool, and then they had like a bunch of different other games. Like, I've never actually gotten like, you know how when you see a scary movie and then you're on the edge of your seat but you actually know the main character will survive? In this thing, you're on the edge of your seat because you don't actually know if these people will survive. So that was kind of scary, I guess. And then, what else? Oh, one night there was a soirée mousse. Soirée meaning party, mousse meaning foam. So we show up and there's like this dance floor that's pretty big, like I guess the size of my kitchen or twice the size of my kitchen, I guess. And there's like this machine hanging from above, and there's like music playing, like dancing music playing. And every 5 minutes the machine from above was letting out like gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of foam. So, like, if you stood underneath it, if you didn't go like this, or if you didn't put your shirt over your face, you wouldn't be able to breathe. You'd probably suffocate. And I was like, this would never happen in America because you'd have to fill out, like, you know, waivers that, like, if I get hurt, it's okay, like, whatever. And there was, like, 5-year-olds just, like, dancing underneath us and getting trampled by older people because they were right underneath the foam and people couldn't even see them. So like this one 5-year-old gets out of the foam and he's like screaming. He's got this like top hat made of foam, like, "Mama, there's foam in my eyes, Mom!" So bad. And finally the mama like came and comforted him and stuff. We went to a concert for her English teacher where they sang in English, but the town was more interesting than the actual concert because it just sounded funny because they were speaking French, but like English and English accent, like French accents in English, and it was funny because they were rapping. But anyways, so the town had like this canal coming from the sea to the center of it, and then it had like fish stands along the ports or whatever along the canal in the center of the town. So while you're walking through the town, you cannot at all avoid the smell of fish. So that was pretty cool, and the only thing they served there was fish. So the restaurant we went to, it was like evening, and they have dinner at when we have lunch, they have dinner. So and then they have supper when we have dinner. So basically, we ordered like this appetizer for supper, and it was a plate of there was fish, and then there was like non-fish. And I ordered the fish, thinking it was a good idea, but I can't even tell you what was on my plate. I thought they were like fried string beans or something like that, so I started eating them. And then the light hit it from the concert. The light hit it, and I was like, whoa, this is looking at me. I can't eat this because I can't eat things that look at me. It's an issue. And then in the center of the plate there was like this rubbery like white thing, and then when my mom cut it open it was red on the inside. I still have no idea what it is. I'm thinking it was like something with calamari, but what was it? Because it was really big and red on the inside, and I don't know, like a squid head or something. I only had a bite of it, I couldn't eat it. There was another fish on the plate or whatever, but I couldn't pay attention anymore, so I switched plates with my mom because she had the non-fish plate. So there was just cold cuts and like olives and lettuce and whatever actual like stuff that I'm comfortable with eating. Anyways, so after that we went to Nimes, which is by her grandpa's house, and it has like the arena in it. But the arena was having a concert or something like that that week, so it had like a concert stage in the middle, and it didn't really look like an arena where they would have bullfights, because originally that's what it was. It's for Roman and bullfighting. The outside looks like it would be for bullfighting, but yeah. So that town was really pretty, and it had like a lot of things to do that were touristy. And then the next day we visited Pont de Gare, which is the aqueducts that Romans built also, and it was pretty cool because there was people swimming in the river underneath it, and it was nice. It was a hot day, so it was really, really nice. Then we visited a goat farm when we got back to her house. And I saw all of the goats, and I was like, Jill, where's Jill? I need to show her the goats. So that was cool. Then we went to Grenoble, but they're full of like mafia and just, like gangs and stuff like that, and it's kind of sketchy. So her mom really didn't want to like visit Grenoble that much, so we just kind of went on a gondola up to the Bastille. That's what it's called. It's like a mountain kind of, and you look down on Grenoble, so the views were gorgeous. And like the mountains in the background in Grenoble with the orange roofs and stuff like that. It's just that when you got up there it was so windy, and I forgot my belt that day, so my shorts were like falling down. I realized this later when I was looking at the pictures, and then I kind of realized why the guys were looking at me, because my underwear was out of my shorts, basically. My shorts weren't even on, basically.